So can I video this now? I've emptied the memory of my phone. There was only 4 videos on it anyway. How can it be full? You're taking the mick. You wonder why I'm sick? Right, I was going to say, yeah, someone's stolen my bike seat out of here. They've been in, I don't know how they got in, but they've stolen my bike seat while I was asleep. I know I've got 2 bikes and I'm lucky, but one of them I'm experimenting with because what's going to happen when we run out of oil? Think of all the trucks, cars, vans, aeroplanes, trains. It can't last forever. What'll happen when we run out of oil? Well, I'm told half the population of the planet are going to starve to death because we're dependent on oil. So it's not important whether I experiment with a way to drive vehicles. That doesn't matter, does it? Well, I think it's important. Yeah, and I'm worn out because I'm an old man. I've had 21 jobs in my life. And that, well, I've been here before. I was going to do a 1-day-a-week course at college. And they said, well, knock it up if you don't get up in time. They didn't knock on the door. I asked them why. They said, we knew you couldn't do it. You know, I mean, my dad died, in 2021. One of the last members of the family left. I've got a brother, a nephew, a niece, an half-brother, a couple of uncles and a couple of aunts. That's all that's left. You expect me to be happy when you're doing things like that? The last house I lived in, I made a video and I put my uncle's war medal in it. He died for it. Somebody stole it. They broke in and stole it. It was worth 25 quid tops. Well, I won't give many drugs for that, would they? I'm sorry, but I'm fed up. And then they rushed me out of that house. Well, I'd been working on my car. It should have been a half-day job, but I'm sure somebody was just messing about with it to slow me down. Well, I know somebody had tightened bolts on the underside of the engine inside the sump to jam the crankshaft. I took the engine out, put it in the boot. It was a new engine for a 17-year-old car, so it was rare as. The boot leaked and it was ruined. Got water damage, rust. I'm not happy. I don't want to drive in Formula 1. I'm too old. So if you were getting me fit for it, I'm 58, I'm too old, don't be silly. Somebody was trying to get me fit, or just winding me up. But yeah, the house got untidy because that job should have taken half a day. 18 months later, I was still on with it because of sabotage. The house got terribly untidy. They just suddenly rushed me out and put me in a mental hospital because there was nowhere else for me to go, and the house was dangerous because it was untidy. There were trip hazards all over the place. And then they put me in the mental hospital so that I'd come here, because the rule is you've got to have come from hospital to get in here. Now I've got a rented flat for a year. Then where do I go? Back to a council house. Where do I come from? A bungalow, which we had to sell. Why? Because Dad had to have dementia care and it was £80,000. Yeah, I got £91,000, but they upset me so much I blew the lot, which I'm not happy about. How would you feel? It just gets worse. And the stuff on air and the stuff on telly, it's just nonsense. It just pays me off. So I have a go at people. And then I get idiots wanting me to go on shows. I'm not interested. I don't want fame. Yeah, I was in 2 school plays. One of them, I had one word to say and I messed it up because my nerves are so bad because I was beaten up as a kid. I'm not sure why I was beaten up, and I'm not going to say who did it, but I have my suspicions that it wasn't a relative. It was an entertainer dressed as my relative, made up to look like my relative. Because I'm defending the relative, even though it could have been him who beat me up. But I'm not going to say why. I think I have worked that out, and why my drive went. Because I realised something that was happening to him, and he didn't like it. And he wouldn't like it if I told you. And I'm not going to tell you because he's a relative, and it would be embarrassing for him. Even though he beat me up.